So back here on ESPN Las Vegas, Cofield Company, and we have a special guest in studio, and NHRA is back in town, and the face of drag racing is here with us. Are you cool with that, Brittany Force?
Sure, I'll take it.
Okay. Did you always like doing media and interviews?
I do, especially because we've had a weekend off. So it's like you get away from the racetrack, you get away from that momentum of, getting back in your car on the competitive side. So coming in early and talking about it and getting hyped up for the weekend, I like it. Right. It gets your mind in the right space.
I don't know a whole lot about drag racing, but I am going to go to the depths here and be a little bit hardcore. I saw a interview with you probably at the beginning of the year, or maybe March, and you had talked about, hey, we're going to try some new things. Mm-hmm. And I was just talking to some of the folks around NHRA. So what were you trying, and how has it worked out?
Actually, it's been a rough season for us. We came off, we won the championship last year. So on the super high, and this has probably been my toughest season in my career. We've really just struggled, and we made a lot of changes. I mean, on this car, a lot of them, my crew chief would be mad if I talked about them, so I have to keep that to ourselves. But he went in and we made a lot of changes, and we knew we're not going to come out and win right away. It's going to take us a handful of race weekends until we start to get a hang and feel for this car. Well, we were a little wrong. It's taken us longer than we thought. We thought at least by mid-season, Western Swing, where we're racing Denver, Sonoma, Seattle, we'd have the car figured out. And again, it took us longer. So it's a big learning process for us all. It really, I always believe that, even though it's been a hard season, good comes from it. It really shows what this team's made of. And even through the hard, it's easy when you're winning to stay motivated. It's hard when you're losing every weekend. So to watch this team really come together, and we're still pushing until the end. We have 2 races left. It speaks very loudly of their character and all of us together as one team.
You guys were champs last year.
We were.
So why make changes?
It's just that, it was actually a team decision. We sat down and talked about it. You could just take that same package we had that we won with, and we did killer all season long. I mean, we were pretty much leading the points from start to finish. We lost it for a little bit, but regained it right when we needed to, and then it ended up winning a championship. So do we carry that same, package deal over and try to do it again? But now everyone's catching us. Everyone's right on our tail. Mm-hmm. So now do we want to try something new that's going to take a little bit of time, but then it'll put us even further ahead? So we all were game for that.
Could you do just about anything on the team? I mean, you've been
absolutely not.
No? Okay.
No.
Like, how high tech is it? And I'm sure it's gotten crazy since you were a kid. You're around your dad. Your family's really big into racing. I always wonder if the drivers were like, "Oh, I could get in there."
No, not me. I could pack my chutes and do fuel. That's about it. My crew chief and I sit down and have meetings about, we'll look at a run, pinpoint, okay, where did you feel it? Where did it drop a hole? Where did it move around on you? And he'll pull up this computer screen, and I don't even know what he's pointing at or what he's looking at. It makes no sense to me, but he knows. So my guys, I have a crew of 9 guys, and they all do their job very well. Very proud to work with them.
And I assume, because I think people from the outside are, don't really respect what the guys and women who build the team and take care of the car, that are these people like geniuses to be able to do what they do?
I think so.
I'm sure I would be around and be like, I think I'm a smart guy. I'd be like, I have no idea what the hell is going on.
My crew chief is absolutely a genius.
Wow.
He is absolutely incredible. David Grubnick, he used to compete. He used to drive Top Fuel, so I used to compete against him, which is a really cool dynamic to share that with him, because I could come back from a run, and most crew chiefs have never been in a Top Fuel car. So they know it's hard to understand that pressure and that weight that a driver carries when you're going into a final round, or your Flavor Pack Monster Energy boss is standing behind your car on the starting line. It's a hard thing to explain, but he's actually been in the seat, so he really understands everything. And I can come back from a run, and I know I'm just talking crazy. Most people don't know what the heck I'm talking about, but he's like, I know exactly what you mean. I've been there before. So it's nice to have that connection with him and relate with him on that level.
You mentioned the number, I think it was 9 people that are on the team. Can you tell us, besides the crew chief, what are some of the other positions on the team that people are out helping with the car?
So I have a lead crew chief and a co-crew chief. Then we have a fuel guy, floater. We have a bottom end guy. We have a cylinder head guy. We have a supercharger guy. We have 2 in our clutch department. And I feel like I'm missing 1. Cylinder head and racks. I said that.
You can stop right now. I believe you.
I think I got it.
So what you mentioned Flavor Pack. Like, What are those relationships like? Your backers obviously are a big part of what you do. As they're watching, I mean, I hope people don't cross the line, right? Where I don't mean like the physical line, but the line of like, hey, get it done.
I've been very lucky. My sponsors have always been very supportive.
Yeah.
I know other drivers, other teams, they have people hounding on them, pushing down their back to get a win. And then that just adds us more pressure and ends up, I think, makes the situation worse.
Of course. It'd be like,
but
listen, I'm going to be doing 335 miles an hour in a second here. I don't need this. Please.
Yeah. So I've been lucky. My sponsors have always been very supportive after good weekends and bad weekends. I have a split sponsorship. So I'm Monster Energy half the time and then Flavor Pack the other half.
LVMS.com is where you get the tickets. The races are, the weekend is basically starting today, but all the way through Sunday. Brittany Force is in studio with us. I know you've talked about the female angle on this whole thing. And going back, there really weren't a lot of females who were in this. So how proud are you of, and your family, right? The breakthrough you've made. And do you see a lot more women coming down the path and have an interest in driving?
Most definitely. I'm proud to, be a role model for a lot of young kids that come out to the racetrack. A lot of them girls that say because of me, they want to be a race car driver. So that's always something really grabs your heart when you have a little kid come up to you and say that. But yes, I've seen it grown. Like I said, I drove in the sportsman division. And I see a lot more females in the Super Comp A fuel cars. So that's exciting to see that. I only compete against one other female full time. But there's more coming in. You'll definitely, every once in a while, there'll be a race where, there's a couple girls competing. And I think that's awesome.
What's it feel like going 330 miles an hour?
Like being strapped to a rocket. It's like getting kicked in the chest. You get the wind knocked out of you.
Really?
When you, within the first second, that's when the full clutch comes in and it's 6 G's on your body. You're going 100 miles per hour in the first second. And then at the top end, when you throw your chutes, it's like getting the wind knocked out of you all over again. What's
the one thing you can't do while you're driving that would really get you in trouble?
What would I be doing in there?
No, in terms of danger. Like as you're driving, like what's you're trying to make sure you're not getting into an accident. Like what's the one thing you got to concentrate on? Not to.
It's just focusing on, just doing your job. Yeah. I know what I'm supposed to do when I get in that car. Leaving off the starting line, making sure you keep your car in the groove. If it drops cylinders, make sure you don't oversteer it, but you steer it enough to get it off the wall or off the center line. Really listening to the car, everything it's doing, the sounds, so you could report back to your crew chief on whatever was going wrong, and hopefully getting your car to that finish line first.
I'm sorry, in 3 or 4 seconds, you pick up that much?
I swear, it's nuts. I mean, it is. It's over like that. It's 330 miles per hour in less than 4 seconds. But in the car, it's like it slows down. Like I said, I could come back and talk to my crew chief and be like, right at 60 feet, it made this move. And then it made a move the other direction when I was about 330 out. And then I heard this shake. And is that where it dropped a cylinder? And then it was, it started to go into tire smoke, but it cleared up and then went through right before we got to that finish line. It couldn't have carried it any further. If the finish line was extended a bit more, the thing would have blown up. So it's like, yeah, you come back and talk about these things. It is crazy.
When you talk about how fast you're going within the first second, and then you're talking about G's, where it sounds like I feel like Tom Cruise in Top Gun. But are you an adrenaline junkie outside of work, or is it just, hey, this is just work? I'm not looking for thrills outside of work.
I think a little bit. I think you have to be a little crazy to drive one of these things. I went skydiving a few years ago. That's always been on my bucket list. I want to go back and do that again. So, I mean, I think a lot of people do that. I don't know. I think it was awesome. Actually, you went too. My PR girl went too a couple of years ago.
I did.
So I think a little bit.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Had the guy on my back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the video package and everything. Never showed a person.
What are you doing?
They
You gotta show off.
I don't even know where to find it anymore.
So what's it like driving for you? We just talked about adrenaline junkie. When you get into a car and you're just driving city streets, you're like, yeah, this sucks.
It's different. I'm not wearing 20 pounds of gear and strapped into where I could barely expand my lungs to take a deep breath. It is different being in a street car.
Brittany Force is with us. So, as I said, you're the face of NHRA. Drag racing's in town, LVMS.com, to get out to the speedway to watch Brittany and all the other competitors. Your celebrity has given you some really cool opportunities. I saw basically you did a double dip. It wasn't like back-to-back nights, but you were at a Ducks game, right? You're an Orange County person, and you went to a Clippers game. So what's that like going out to the other big time sporting events and getting to meet those athletes.
It is awesome to be able to do crossovers, which we try to do a lot in our sport, especially local. I'm in Orange County, so to be able to do the Clippers, never been to a Clippers game. That was pretty cool to do something like that. And with Monster, I do a lot of crossover. PBR, I always do the New York Madison Square Gardens in January, Supercross events, especially when they're right in our backyard in Anaheim. So it's cool to do those crossovers and just, meet the riders or drivers, whoever they are, and, just have a conversation with them because there are connections between the two. We do relate on a certain level, but I look at them usually, like I look at these bull riders that I've met before and I'm like, you're nuts. You got on a bull?
Ask you,
and they look at me and they think I'm crazy. No, I wouldn't do that. I may be in them, but I would not get on that thing.
You were skydiving.
My neck hurts just looking at them.
That is crazy. The bouncing all over the place.
All right, so I've got to ask. Steve was asking you about the celebrity, but Halloween is this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to ask. I see it on your Instagram. You've got the whole story of just past Halloween outfits.
Yes.
Last year you were the Joker. What's Halloween this year going to be?
I gotta wait to post it on Halloween, so I can't tell you.
It's that good.
I wanted the scoop.
You put that much thought into it. What's your favorite costume from the past?
From the past, actually, I was the Joker last year. That one is actually really fun. I did like that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you were more Jared Leto Joker.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yes, so that was fun.
Yeah.
It's just we're always out here in Vegas, and however Halloween falls, we're usually late at the track, and it's like for me, I want to do the makeup, the hair, like get it perfect. And it's usually by the time we get back to the hotel, it's 10 o'clock. And it's like, throw this crap on as quickly as you can and get out. So I never get to fully sit there and enjoy doing that because I like to really pull off the character. But I think I pulled it off pretty well last
Brittany
year.
Force is with Cofield Company. So last couple of things, very important. One, pitch the audience who haven't been out to the Speedway, haven't been out to see drag racing, why this is a cool event.
Yeah, it's NHRA drag racing. We're in town Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We start qualifying tomorrow at 1 p.m. There's nothing like it. If you haven't been, the facility out there is beautiful. One of my favorite tracks. We've won here in the past. We're looking to win here this year. So there's nothing like it. 2 cars side by side, 330 miles per hour, less than 4 seconds. The ground shakes when these things take off. There's nothing like it.
And very important, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I know you put out info on an initiative on social media.
Yeah. So yeah, it is breast cancer awareness. We usually in the past we've wrapped our cars in pink. We weren't able to do it this year, but yes, I think I might have a sticker on my car this weekend. I don't know off the top of my head, but excited to be here and showing